What the fuck?
What's going on, guys? Big Al's Bike and Auto here, coming at you, and you know the deal. It is another Copart walk. So we are looking for, I think this guy is in the wrong area over here. Looks like a rookie. So what I'm looking for in particular is two AT&T Malibus. All right, my bread and butter, AT&T Malibu. I love these cars. At the moment, I mean, everything looks standard AT&T. It's in pretty good shape. I forget what the miles are. Oh, 136. So it's on the lower end compared to, I've bought more that had close to 160. See how the tires are. Actually, they're kind of low on tread. Usually the AT&T cars have, well, the back ones are a little bit better. They've already taken that little lock. This thing right here is that they keep a master key for the car. Well, not for the car. They have a master key that opens these cylinders, and there's a key for the car in there. I guess their new strategy now is just cover up the AT&T logos with stickers versus spray paint, which actually I prefer because taking the spray paint off is a pain in the ass. You can see they just left some sticky residue. That'll be a lot nicer for me versus when they just rattle cambered over their logo here at Copart. You can see there's some paint flaking, which is the typical for Chevy of this era, especially this Arctic white for whatever reason. But not as bad as the last one I bought, and the bumper is that same kind of eyeliner that the last one I bought had. But I love these cars, man. They're very well taken care of. I already see the second one, and I know my market on these. When these come along, I'm always very relieved because I know it's going to be a simple buy it, clean it, sell it. And I've sold enough of these now that I know what they're going to sell for. I know what to list them for. I know what to pay for them, etc. Now, I've kind of driven up the prices on these a little bit. I hate to admit it by talking about them so much online, but what can I do? I noticed it has a brand new AC Delco alternator. Like I said, they take care of these cars, man. They're even putting in AC Delco parts still, even the battery. And it looks like the AC compressor was recently changed. It's very clean. Yeah, that's good to see. It's definitely a replacement unit, so I have to believe that the AC in this car is most likely cold. And the oil looked good. Everything looks pretty good. This is popping out a little bit here on the intake tube. There we go. So I'll have to come back to this, have them jump started, just make sure. The one issue these cars have, they have a few. They can have head gasket problems. That's more rare. The more common thing is the intake manifold gasket. Those fail fairly often on these, but I don't see any alarming issues. The oil is dirty, but it's gold, which I prefer to see. If it was a fresh oil change, then who knows? There might have been coolant in it and they changed it and just ignored it. So that tells me that there's no intake manifold or head gasket issue, at least not a severe one. And again, the interior in this one's in good shape. The headliner's intact. The last one I bought had a pretty lousy headliner in it. So I'm definitely interested in this. We have the second one over here. Now, I knew there was two here today. This one has only 113,000 miles, but you can tell this one's been sitting for a while. Well, they just moved the Malibu to get this Nissan out, so just waiting on them to be done with that. All right, he's giving me the go-ahead. Now, I was trying to open the hood on this, and it's very rusty. It almost cut my finger. I don't remember the last time I had a tetanus shot, so it's a bit concerning. No surprise that this battery's dead. This one's been sitting for a while. The question is why? I know it's a run drive, but AT&T, this is an interesting feature they've added. AT&T usually does not park their vehicles unless there's something mechanical wrong. So I'm looking for clues about that right now. We have a mic set up, and the headliner, as you would expect for a vehicle that's been sitting, is starting to peel. But everything else looks, well, normal in here. I don't see any hacked up dashboard. Got new struts, new serpentine belt as well, new power steering pump. Everything looks good on this car, so it's interesting that it was parked. The AC is new as well. Right down the line, you can see how nice and shiny that stuff is. And again, I just checked the oil. I can't multitask very well, so if you notice, I'm checking things twice. I'm being distracted by you guys talking to you, but everything looks fine on this car. There is this rusty hood problem, but I guess what makes up for that is the lower miles. And again, I go to the junkyard and buy a hood for next to nothing, but we just lost a chunk of the hood by closing it. Only 113,000 miles, and this one has, looks like it has 4 new, 2 Firestones in the rear are in very good shape, and the front Hancooks are new. I'd like to hear this run. I like to hear them both run, to be honest. This one will clean up nice. I look forward to hopefully putting it back on the road again where it belongs. Ready? So you can see they have to come and jump the cars to this location for you. I just wanted to hear how this thing's running, if the AC's working. It's got the classic, a little bit loud on a cold start, piston slap. Doesn't sound too bad. Nothing out of the ordinary, put it that way. I do notice that the AC is not blowing cold. First one ever. Could just need some Freon. It does have a whole new system, so I can't imagine it needs any of that replaced. Might be a small leak, you know. Sometimes you put a new system in a car and that happens. Something isn't hooked up right. But let's go check out the other one. Thank you. I appreciate your help. Put it on max air. This one's not getting cold yet either. I hate to say it. And wow, we got a check engine light, we got an ABS light, we got a brake light. Is this on? Nope. It does engage gear, fine. But definitely more than I'm used to seeing on an AT&T vehicle. These might have been the runts that were left over. They haven't sold yet. Knocking and ticking away. It sounds okay now. I noticed that the coolant reservoir is empty. This is a surge tank, so that's definitely concerning. Because where's the coolant going? So I'm going to have to bid with all that in mind. I don't see the clutch spinning on this AC compressor either. Now I'm sure they would take some Freon and blow cold, but I want to make sure my buyer, whoever that may be, is getting a good vehicle with cold air. Definitely a little ticky. Heavy smoke out here, let's see. It seems all right. Nothing weird in the trunk. Air is not blowing cold. These are kind of disappointing. I hate to say it. I mean, if the bids stay low, I'm still in, but I'm not gonna bid as crazy as I usually do. Malibus need some love, and that's why I'm telling you guys, just because it's AT&T Doesn't always mean it's perfect. You have to come do your due diligence. There's been a couple Malibus I've bought blind. I've gotten lucky. Even the very first one I ever bought from AT&T, I never heard it run. This one actually sounds healthier. Who would have thought? The one all the rust and been sitting forever, and it just stalled out. Interesting. Let's see if she's gonna start back up. So both of these are kind of a mess. Huh? I think the battery already, could just be the battery and maybe a vacuum leak that led it to shut off. But we were having some fun right when it right when it did. Apparently we were doing 5,000 RPM at 60. Need a little bit of work. So I'm gonna bid with that in mind. All right guys, so you can see I missed when the tow truck came. I wasn't home. However, we're still waiting on one more. So we'll probably see the second one arrive. But one of the AT&T cars arrived. I did win both for the same price each one, $250 each car. Now that doesn't include the Copart fees and delivery and everything like that. But both these cars, after the Copart fees and the towing to my house, $1,100 even, 1106 to be exact. So this is the one you may remember earlier in the video. Lower mileage, but it's got all this mold on the hood. We're thinking I'm gonna probably try the junkyard tomorrow or this weekend and see if they have a white Malibu this generation. Hood's $30. I'll just replace it because the rust is pretty bad. I wouldn't care so much if it was just underneath here, but I mean, you can't even open this hood without having a tetanus shot. So if I can change the hood for $30 to make the car perfect, I will. And this has a lot of, you know, paint chips and stuff on it as well underneath all the dirt. So it's kind of a win-win. I'll get a cleaner hood and there'll be no rust. And I'm gonna have to touch up these couple spots. I'm not sure if I ever showed the video of me doing that. I think it was at the end of one of my older videos of the last AT&T Malibu I bought, where I actually took just a rattle can of these spots. The last Malibu I bought from AT&T was really bad. I mean, there were spots like this everywhere, and I sprayed them with a rattle can right here in the front yard, and the car looked much better. This one's not too bad. These smaller spots, probably try to take just a touch-up pen too, because you really can't rattle can a spot like that without doing everything, and that ends up looking like crap. But this one's not bad, so it'll clean up nice when I wash it. Has 4 new tires, as I pointed out earlier in the video. I don't have to do much cleaning in here. It's really not bad at all. There's not all wrappers and trash everywhere like there usually is with these AT&T Malibus. It's like a hit or miss. Some of these workers were clean and some of them were not. This one's very clean. It's been sitting, you know, it's gonna need to be I'm going to need to go through the car, obviously. It's been sitting, but there is a lot of recent maintenance you can see in this car. And, you know, for a car that's been sitting, you can see that the coolant reservoir is right where it should be and the coolant's clean, so we know we don't have any coolant leaks. The struts have been replaced, as I mentioned. We were at Copart, power steering pump, serpentine belt, alternator looks newer. The AC compressor for sure, although it was blowing warm, but I do have cans of Freon. I just put in my battery from the Fiero, which is a good one, so this should start up. There we go. Listen to that nice 3100 piston slap. There it is. And just like they all do, there it goes. It's a very common issue with these engines, and every single one that I've bought, not just AT&T, but other ones that were not AT&T, they all do that piston slap when they're cold. It sounds awful. What I want to do today, obviously, is clean this thing up. And I believe that the other one's on its way. Now we have it running, we'll take it out for a spin in a minute. Remember, we haven't driven this car yet. I only tested the engine at Copart, where you can't drive. So I'm curious to see how she drives. All right, so I'm here in the Malibu, and it has this weird thing. We've been playing with it.
Language, English.
C.
Language, volume. Language, English,
What the hell is this? Oh boy, I think I'm calling somebody. Hello? What's that button do? That was a button or something.
Can you press this?
Yeah, it just brings her
Language,
back.
English.
Okay, well, the language is English. We know that much.
Language, English.
I really hope it doesn't keep doing that. This one I noticed has power locks, which most of these don't. That's a nice bonus. Oh, you can tell it's been sitting for a long time. Those brakes are squealing. But, you know, with some driving, they should be fine, I'm sure. Let's see if it shifts. Moment of truth. Yeah, well, there's second. There's third. All right, transmission's good. Brakes are definitely squealy. But again, it's got to be driven. And that is what I do when I get these cars, and I drive them for a couple of days, make sure everything is good. I'm going to change the oil on this, obviously, as well as the other one. But in a few days, you won't even recognize it. It's going to be all cleaned up. No more brake noise, no more anything. It's going to be perfect. All the gauges are reading where they should be. All is well. Cut. So I thought I'd show you guys quick what I use to get bad stains, like tree sap and stuff, out of paint when it's real bad. I use 91% rubbing alcohol, and actually I got this tip from many of you in the comments. Alright, so here is the Malibu all cleaned up. Did the typical power wash I usually do, and because this one was especially dirty, I did that wipe down with the rubbing alcohol that you guys saw. And obviously I still have to do some paint touch up, but I'm not going to do that today because it's already getting dark. And I still haven't received the other Malibu yet from my tow truck driver, so when that comes tomorrow, I'll do them both at once. I have all the equipment out. But what I did up front, you might have noticed, hey, where'd the rust go? Can hardly tell from a distance, but I put some Gorilla Tape, some white Gorilla Tape I had over the rusty area, mainly just to protect my hands for the time being. My plan is to replace the hood, but if I'm unable to find a Malibu hood that's white, it certainly looks better than how it did before. And the car cleaned up great. You can see there's no more spots on the hood anymore, on the fenders or on any. There was those mold spots all over the entire car, and it took a lot of pressure washing and a lot of rubbing alcohol, but it's pretty much perfect now. There's still a little bit back here. There's certain areas where for some reason they just don't come off. I don't want to rub so hard as to take the paint off completely. I don't mind there being a few spots here and there. Again, this is an older vehicle. It's to be expected. There's going to be imperfections. So anyway, I think it looks pretty darn good, at least compared to how it looked when it got dropped off a few hours ago. It looked awful. It looked like an abandoned vehicle, which is basically what it was. It was just abandoned by AT&T. And you can see it now. I think this vehicle's been sitting since at least 2014. And it's running great, by the way. It's still running well. I just have to get the bad gasoline out of it and drive it some more. Once I get the spray paint on those few areas where the paint flaked off, and obviously some more flaked off with the pressure washing, nothing I can do about that. It's a necessary evil to get the vehicle to clean up like this, but once I touch up those few spots, this Malibu is going to be perfect. Very happy with this one, but I'm also eagerly waiting for the next one to come in tomorrow and see how that one is mechanically. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for part 2 where we'll get the other AT&T Malibu in, check that one out, see how it is, clean it up if it needs to be, and same thing we're going to do to this car, oil change, free on recharge, and we'll figure out what those few service lights on are for in that other Malibu. So thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for the next one.